All right. Yes, Shaft League Productions. I had to do that. Um, let's do MLB 2023 predictions. Okay. Um, yeah, this is gonna be an interesting baseball season. Because honestly, a lot of things happened, a lot of changes. A few people retired, which yeah, it's gonna be really weird not seeing them in the leagues, but oh well, it is what it is. Let's start out with the NL West, an underrated division in my eyes. In last place, we have no surprise, the Colorado Rockies. Now, the Colorado Rockies, they have a lineup. Out of all the last place teams, I'd say the Rockies are probably going to be the quote unquote best out of all of them because their lineup's really good. Okay, Chris Bryant, Ryan McMahon, CJ Cron's still there. He might be because he's a solid bat. They have a really nice lineup. What holds them back? They have arguably the worst starting rotation in the entire league. The very worst. Which is what holds them back. And I have the Colorado Rockies going a very nice 69 and 93. That's pretty nice, if I gotta say. 69 wins. I would kill to win 69 games. That's pretty nice. Anyways, on the fourth place, Arizona Diamondbacks. And the Diamondbacks are going up, and yeah, I'm still salty they signed Evan Longoria. It should be a Tampa Bay Ray, but oh well. We'll talk about the Rays later. The Diamondbacks, they're on the upcoming. I think they're going to be an okay team this year. But it's still not good. They're still not good. They're still not good. They're pitching. They could work on the bullpen a little bit. Could work on the rotation a little more. They gotta work on. They could get them a few more bats. I have the Diamondbacks going 75 and 87. It's relatively good for the Diamondbacks because the last few years it's been awful. I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be okay this year. Third place, San Francisco Giants. That was a bad offseason, but they still have a decent team. It's just mid. The Giants are still not terrible. They're not going to be as bad as people think they are because they have a solid team on paper. It's just you struck out on Aaron Judge and you struck out on what's his name? You struck out on Carlos Correa. You could have had Aaron Judge and Carlos Correa. And I would have had you in the playoffs if you got both of them. But no, Mitch Haniger's not bad. Mike Yastrzemski is pretty solid in left. Brandon Crawford is still doing decent. First base is kind of a void. I'd like to see Joey Bart a little more. Their rotation is okay. Their bullpen is all right. It's not a bad team, but the two teams ahead of them are just on another level in that division. I have the Giants going 81 and 81. Second place is the last wild card spot in my book. San Diego Padres. I think people are overrating the hell out of the Padres. I think the Padres are the most overrated team in the entire league. I think they are, and let me explain why. Their pitching is not good. I think Fernando Tatis Jr. is the problem over there. Everyone's like, oh, the Padres made the NLCS without Fernando Tatis Jr. They're gonna be better with him coming back. Yeah, right. Dude, the Padres, they have no pitching. Their bullpen is incredibly mid. Their lineup is really good. They have Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts. Josh Bell left. They lost him. They have Juan Soto. They got Fernando Tatis coming back, but I think Fernando Tatis Jr. is the problem there because up until this past season, they have never been able to live up to the hype with the core. That was with Fernando Tatis Jr. The Padres, okay, with Fernando Tatis, 2019, everyone hyped them up. They were the worst team in the NL West. 2020, playoff team, yes, they made the playoffs. They swept the Cardinals. Okay, fine. Actually, no, they beat the Cardinals 3, but that was probably the worst wild card team. And I like the Cardinals too, but that was like the worst wild card team I've ever seen. I have no idea how that team made the playoffs, but they did. Um, the and then they played a real team, the best team in the MLB that year, and got swept. 2021, they were hyped as a World Series favorite, trading for Blake Snell, getting Yu Darvish, granted Mike and Joe Musgrove. You had Yu Darvish, Blake Snell, and Joe Musgrove. That was a free-headed monster in San Diego. Fernando Tatis gets injured a lot. The Padres were in a playoff spot, and then they epically collapsed. That was one of the worst collapses I've seen in a while. And this past season, they made the NLCS without Fernando Tatis for the entire season because of an injury and a suspension. I don't understand how you could possibly say this team is better with Tatis than without. I'd argue it's better without Tatis because the clubhouse and the management and the front office, they're not dealing with the drama that he's bringing. That's why I don't buy the Padres as a World Series contender. It's Fernando Tatis Jr. that holds them back. And Fernando Tatis Jr. is an insane liability. They're putting him in the outfield again, and he's horrible. They tried it, and it failed. It was horrible. So I have the Padres, 89 wins and 73 losses. And in first place, do we even need to talk about it? On paper, they're the best team in the league, but I don't think they're going to have the best record. 108 wins and 54 losses, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yeah, you lose Trey Turner. Yeah, Gavin Lux tore his ACL. That sucks, but they have Miguel Vargas. They traded for Miguel Rojas, who is decent. Third base is kind of a hole, if you could call it that. They have Freeman at first, Muncy at second, Will Smith at catcher, Mookie Betts, who I think is going to be an MVP candidate. Spoiler alert, I'm taking him number 1 overall in my fantasy baseball league that I have with a few of my friends. Mookie Betts is going to be picked. I'm picking Mookie Betts because I have the number 1 pick. All right. The Dodgers are a favorite for the World Series. Their pitching is good. Clayton Kershaw, Tyler Anderson. Tyler Anderson left. He's an angel. He's gonna suck. Who else do they have? Tony Gonsolin. Their bullpen is all right. Dave Roberts blew that Padres series. Okay, the only reason the Padres beat the Dodgers was because of Dave Roberts. 1, mismanaged the lineup, and 2, Tyler Anderson was dealing. He took him out. He pulled a Kevin Cash. Dodgers are going to take every Padres game personal. Do not be surprised if they sweep them in the regular season this year. Play them like 20 times. I think they'll go like they could. They're going to take it personal because they lost to them last year, and they're just going to come out and blow them all out. I have the Dodgers as a 2nd seed in the NL. Over in the NL Central, the last place team is really, honestly, probably the worst team in the entire league, the Cincinnati Reds. Other than Jonathan India, they have nothing going for them. You can say Joey Votto, but that dude is washed. Stevenson, that was a 1-year wonder. I'm convinced. Their pitching sucks. Their hitting is terrible. Their bullpen is one of the worst in the league. Their coaching staff is really bad. Their front office is really bad. Everything about the Reds is really, really, really bad. I think they are the worst team in the league. There's nothing going for this team. The Reds go 45 They win 45 games. I think 117 losses. This team is horrible. This is the worst team. This is the worst team in the league. This team is so bad. Moving on. Fourth place, I have the Pirates. I don't know what the Pirates are doing. Brian Reynolds, your only good player, and you're probably going to trade him. And Andrew McCutchen coming back. The Pirates are bad. It's just a matter of do what the fans want. Have Andrew McCutchen come back. Andrew McCutchen should be a Pirate. Just like I think Evan Longoria should be a Tampa Bay Ray. Yeah, this team, it's a bad team. The Pirates are a bad team. I have the Pirates going 60 and 102. The Pirates are a bad team. Spoiler alert. Third place, the Milwaukee Brewers. This is a bad division, if you guys can't tell. This is probably the worst division in the... Actually, no, the AL Central's worse. But this is the second worst division. This division is so bad. Now I see why the Rays got so lucky last year. Yeah, this division is terrible. The Brewers, they kind of got worse, but they're still mid. Their starting pitching is the only bright spot, and Willy Adames, because Willy Adames is a monster. I'm expecting a big season for Willy Adames. I am expecting the Milwaukee Brewers to be a decent team, but not like a world beater team like they were when Yelich won MVP. I have the Brewers going 85 and 77, and in second place, surprise team, Chicago Cubs. This team, they improved. Dansby, big addition for them. They have Cody Bellinger, who I think needed a change of scenery. You can say he's done. I think a change of scenery is going to help him. And I think Cody Bellinger is going to have a decent season. I have the Cubs going 86 and 76. Their pitching is not good. And in first place, to the surprise of no one, the St. Louis Cardinals. St. Louis is the favorite in the division. This division is so bad. St. Louis will win the division by default. It's not like the AL Central where Cleveland's going to win it, but St. Louis. But I feel like St. Louis isn't a bad team, okay? They're a good team. Nolan Arenado, best third baseman in baseball. I don't care that Manny Machado. They have the best corner infield in the entire league in Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado. It's way better than when the Cubs had Anthony Rizzo and Chris Bryant. If you're a Cubs fan and you dislike it because I said that, I don't care. Also, Stoll wasn't Contreras from y'all. You guys suck for not trading him. Just to get some value in return. I expected him to be a Cardinal, and he was. Jordan Walker is going to come up, have a big season. Another Cardinal rookie. I think his name is Wynn. I don't know. But I know he hit a home run today. The rookies in St. Louis are going to be good. The pitching is the problem. But the bullpen is okay. The rotation's not horrible. It is aging, though. I will say that. It is aging. But the bullpen could be better. It's really the middle of the bullpen sucks. The back end of it is good. Ryan Helsley, Gio Gallegos is good in the back end. St. Louis is the favorite, and I have them going 91 and 71. Let's move on to the NL East. The division that I think is the best division in the entire league. In last place, this isn't a surprise to anyone, the Washington Nationals. They're a bad team right now, but at least they have the future to look forward to. I think Washington is looking forward to the future. People are saying this is the worst team in the league. I disagree. The Reds are. I don't even think they're the worst team in the East Coast, but this team is bad. This team is bad. But in the future, they'll be back to being a World Series contender. But right now, it's just not looking good. We have this team going 55 and 107 on the year. Moving on, fourth place, another no-brainer. It's the Marlins. I mean, they have some pieces, but literally their starting rotation is literally Sandy Alcantara. Other than that, it's garbage. Their lineup is not horrible, but it could do some improvement. They have Jazz Chisholm. They have some other guys. I don't really know their lineup that well. Their lineup isn't terrible, though. It's middle of the pack. But they're still not that good of a team. I have the Marlins going 74 and 88 on the season. Next up, third place. One a playoff team. My number 5 seed, Philadelphia Phillies. Now, I do think they're going to have a horrible first half because Bryce Harper's going to miss most of the first half. He got surgery on his knee. Other than Trey Turner, they don't really have a backup bat. Rhys Hoskins, very hit or miss. JT Realmuto has slowly declined. Kyle Schwarber stinks. You can be like, but he hit 44 home runs. Yeah, he bat barely over 200. And he led the entire league in strikeouts. Stinks. Stinks. He stinks. And he's a horrible fielder. He's horrible on the field. And they don't have a center. And I don't know who their center fielder is because they traded Matt Vierling, who they plotted him in at center field for the entire season. And then now they don't have him anymore. Alec Boehm, trash. I don't know who their second baseman is, but their pitching isn't any good other than Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler. It's not good. I think the Phillies are going to take a step back, but they make the playoffs and go 91 and 71. Second place, the New York Mets. Okay. You guys know I hate the New York Mets, but objectively, they're probably, on paper, the third best team in the National League. On paper, because they lost Jacob deGrom. Okay, fine. They still have Max Scherzer. They added Justin Verlander, who's coming off a Cy Young. They have Kodai Senga, who's going to be – he's going to be a beast. I'm really high on Kodai Senga. I knew the Mets were going to do something when Kodai Senga got signed. Francisco Lindor, one of the best shortstops in baseball. Pete Alonso had an MVP caliber season, and he'll probably have another MVP caliber season this year. I think Darno. Is Darno there? I don't know. I don't know if Darno is there. Their pitching is really good. Their outfield with Brandon Nimmo. Oh, yeah, Jeff McNeil at second base, the guy who won the batting title. Jeff McNeil is really underrated. I don't think people give Jeff McNeil the credit he deserves. They have Brandon Nimmo, who's decent. They have some other guys in the outfield, but I don't really know their whole outfield other than Marte and Nimmo. The Mets, I like how there's people who think they're going to miss the playoffs. Not me. The Mets are a playoff team. I have the Mets going 162. That normally in most divisions would be enough for first place. Not in this division, because in first place, with a National League, with the number 1 seed in the National League, the best team, the best record in Major League Baseball, I have the Atlanta Braves with 109 wins and 53 losses. Yes, I'm really high on the Braves. Everyone's saying, Oh, they lost Dansby. They won't be that good. Think about it. It's not gonna hurt. Why? Here's who they have. They have Matt Olson at first, who is really damn good. Obviously, he's no Frank Freeman, but he's really damn good. You have Ozzy Albies at second, who is a dog. You have Vaughn Grissom at short, who had a monster rookie season. He was a monster. Ever since he got called up, he went on a tear. He went on a wretched tear during last season. And they have Austin Riley at third. They have probably the best infield in the entire major leagues. And they traded for Sean Murphy at catcher. And Sean Murphy, that was a sneaky move by Atlanta. Sean Murphy is a good catcher. And their outfield's pretty good with Michael Harris, Ronald Acuna. Yeah, Marcell Ozuna sucks, but well, they have Acuna and Michael Harris, who are both really good. Michael Harris won Rookie of the Year. Their starting rotation is actually good. You have Spencer Strider, Charlie Morton, who is old, but he still can produce. Mike Soroka might be back, but I don't know. The Braves overall are probably the second best team on paper. Because I think they have a better roster than the Astros. Because I think their pitching is better than the Astros, and I think they have better pitch. I think they have better pitching than the Dodgers. The Dodgers have a better lineup overall than the Braves. And I think the Braves 109 and 53 for the Braves, number one seed in the National League, and the number one record in Major League Baseball. All right, let's move on over to the American League. Let's start out with the American League East. In last place, I hate to say it, but it's the Tampa Bay Rays. And let me explain. And people are like, wait a minute, what kind of drugs are you smoking on? Because the Rays are not a last place team. Let me explain why this is a last place team. Okay, we kept the same coaches. We had virtually the same team, except we lost a few pieces. Mike Zunino and Kevin Kiermaier both left. We're relying on Jose Siri to be our center fielder. Randy Arozarena in right, and he didn't have that good of a year last year, and I saw Randy Arozarena play. He did not play good. Left field is, I don't even know at this point because this is a bad baseball team. First base, we're going to rely on like Isaac Paredes at first, which isn't good. He's mid because G-Man Choi's gone. Catcher, Mejia, okay, fine. Second base, Brandon Lau, very hit or miss. Very hit or miss. Brandon Lau is very hit or miss. Shortstop, Wander Franco, can he stay healthy? And he's probably the only one who's not going to get traded. Third base, Yanni Diaz, he's good. Bench is terrible. Coaching staff is really bad. It's the same coaching staff as last year. Not a single one got fired. So Kevin Cash, this is your last chance. You're on the hot seat. Kevin Cash is on the hot seat. The pitching rotation, it's just really Glasnow and McClanahan. Rasmussen, mid. Jeffrey Springs, garbage. Zach Eflin is not good. I did not like that signing. I've campaigned for Eric Neander to be fired, and he's still not fired. I don't understand how he's not fired. We needed bats. All we need is a big bat. We didn't get a bat. We always go after a big fish free agent. And guess who we went after? Fucking Jacob deGrom. We do not need another arm. Let alone a Jacob deGrom in his mid-30s. Now, don't get me wrong. Jacob deGrom, when healthy, is the best pitcher in Major League Baseball. But he's in his mid to late 30s. I did not want Jacob deGrom. Trust me. It would have been cool to have him, but I did not want him. 1, too expensive. 2, he's getting old. The bullpen, it's very hit or miss. Bullpen is very hit or miss. I don't see this team making the push. I think we're in a hard sell at the deadline. I think everyone but Wander Franco is going to get traded. I think this team goes 52-110. This is a bad baseball team. You may be thinking I'm on drugs, but this is a bad team. This is a bad team. I'm genuinely surprised people are high on the Rays. This is a bad baseball team. Like, think about it. I'm a Rays fan, guys. This team is a bad team. This is a bad baseball team. I've said it plenty of times. This team sucks. They got worse. And they're not going to get lucky again. You see, we kept the same coaching staff from last year, so basically the same thing's going to happen, except on a worse scale, because instead of playing the worst division in the entire league, the two worst divisions, actually, the AL Central and the NL Central, both divisions are garbage. You're playing the entire league. You got to play the Braves, Phillies, Dodgers, Mets, Yankees, Astros. We'll get to those teams later. In fourth place, I'm the Boston Red Sox. Now, I do think they're better than people think, but they're still not that good of a team. I highly doubt the Red Sox overachieve. They lost Bogarts. Yeah, they kept Devers, but they brought in Justin Turner. They lost JD Martinez. Their pitching isn't great, but I'd argue it's better than the Rays as of right now because the Rays do not even know what they're doing because Glasnow's hurt. McClanahan probably going to get hurt at some point. Rasmussen's mid. Eflin sucks. Spring sucks. This isn't the worst teams in the division are easily the Rays and the Red Sox. Easily the Rays and the Red Sox. You're saying, oh, if the Rays are the best team in the division. No. The Red Sox are fourth. They're not a very good fourth place team. In fact, I have the Red Sox going 72-90 this year. In third place, the Baltimore Orioles. Now, I do think the Orioles are on the up. I don't think they're a playoff team yet. They still have flaws. Alright, sorry about that. My sinuses suck, but I don't even care. I want to get this done. So that way I'm not procrastinating about my MLB predictions. But yeah, anyways, Orioles, they still have some holes. Like, their lineup isn't bad. Their pitching is the real problem. Their pitching is really bad, which is literally the reason I do not think the Orioles are a playoff team yet. It's their pitching that holds them back. If they had at least decent pitching, I would pick the Orioles to make the playoffs. But no, they don't. So the Orioles are not a playoff team. But I do think they will be the best non-playoff team, not named the Cubs. I have the Orioles going 87-75. In second place, this is a definite playoff team. And my number 4 seed, the Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays are hands down the second best team in the division. And I don't even need to start on the number 1 team in the division. The Blue Jays are going to – I have them winning 100 games, losing 62. Normally that would be first place in most divisions. The Blue Jays have a good lineup. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who's a monster. You can say what you want about him, but he is a monster. George Springer, who's pretty good. Bo Bichette, who's good. Kevin Kiermaier sucks. I don't know why you signed Kevin Kiermaier, but he sucks. He's a good fielder, but can't hit crap. Can't hit shit. He can't. Blue Jay fans, enjoy him. And he's made of glass, by the way. So enjoy him getting breathed on, and then he tears one of his knees out because that's going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen, but that's going to happen. I'm warning you, Jays fans. He's very injury prone. He cannot stay healthy. They do have Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who's pretty nice. Alejandro Kirk is good. Their rotation is solid. Their bullpen with Romano, decent. And we all know, first place, do we even need to talk about it? New York Yankees. Somehow they brought back the MVP. I don't know how, but they did. They have Giancarlo Stanton as well, who I'm picking to win the MVP. I think the Yankees, Nestor Cortez, Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole's a fraud. Garrett Cole's a fraud. I don't care. Ever since the crackdown, he's sucked. And he's pitched pretty mid. I don't buy the Yankees as a World Series contender, but because Aaron Boone is a fraud manager and he's still there. But the Yankees are a good team, and unfortunately, they're the best team in the division. Unfortunately, because I hate that team. You guys know I've hated that team since youth. That team is so hated. But I think the Yankees are easily winning that division. And the Yankees go 111-61. But I think they'll already have clinched it before the Blue Jays even get to their 100th win. All right, moving on. AL Central, last place. Many people were thinking it's going to be the Tigers. I think it's going to be the White Sox. It's a bad team. They literally let Jose Abreu walk for nothing. They have no pitching outside of Dylan Cease. Their lineup, very hit or miss. Benintendi and Tim Anderson are good. But other than that, who do they have? I had 101, not 111. Are you actually deaf or what? Because I said 101. I never said 111. But Yankees are the number 2 seed. White Sox, bad team, bad pitching, bad bullpen, hit or miss lineup with like 2 guys. And the White Sox, I hope you fail this year. I hope you absolutely suck. Because you let Jose Abreu walk to the Houston Astros. And Jose Abreu took a cheaper deal than what you offered him. Just ridiculous. God, I hope you suck. But I think you will suck because you're just a bad team. Yes, I have you in last place. I have you guys winning 59 games. 59 games this year. 59 and 103 for the Chicago White Sox. That is a bad baseball team. 4th place, the Detroit Tigers. Oh, this is a bad division. Oh, it's a terrible division. Yeah, this team is bad. This team is bad too, but they're on the up, whereas the White Sox are not. This team is really bad. AJ Hinch is on the hot seat. The Austin Meadows trade has been a complete failure for them, but it's also been a failure for the Rays because Isaac Paredes got hurt. Actually Isaac Paredes just sucked after that hot streak he had. But anyways, the Tigers are a bad team. Their pitching sucks. Keely Badu gonna have a good season this year. Javi Baez should bounce back, but again, Tigers are really bad. I think the Tigers go 60 and 102. That's a bad baseball team. In 3rd place, Kansas City Royals. Another bad and mediocre baseball team. Like this team, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the Royals are thinking. Like, they are they are in the middle of no man's land, and I don't know what they're trying to do. I think the Royals are going to be just another one of those mid baseball teams where they do not play good, but they don't play bad either. But I have the Royals going 62 and 100. Their pitching is really, really, really bad. Second place, the Minnesota Twins. I have them finishing below 500. Ironically, Minnesota Twins are they're stuck in no man's land because yeah, they brought back Correa. They traded Luis Arias. You only have Correa and Buxton. Your pitching is mid. Your bullpen sucks. Your team in general is just mid. I have the Twins going 79 and 83 on the season. In second place with their second place with a record of 75 and 87. And in first place, by default, it's the Cleveland Guardians. This is the worst division in the entire league. They're not that good. The Guardians are not that good. Yeah, sorry about that. Guardians are not that good, but they have Jose Ramirez. Steven Kwan had a good rookie season, looking to get better. Pitching, it's just Shane Bieber, but he's starting to tail off. Their bullpen, outside of Emmanuel Clase, is very hit or miss. The Guardians, in general, very hit or miss. I have them going 87 to 75. Win the division by default. Moving on to the American League West. Everyone overrates this division. In last place, everyone is saying Oakland. I disagree. I'm going with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. They're going to be mad sellers this year. I think everyone on that team possibly is going to be traded. Yeah, Tyler Anderson. Yeah, they added some nice players. They added Gio Urshela, but it's the Angels. They're the opposite of what everyone thinks. Players get worse when they go to Anaheim. Like, look at Anthony Rendon. Look at Albert Pujols. Look at what happened when Albert Pujols left. Comeback player of the year and had a great final season in the MLB. The Angels ruin players more than any franchise. And I feel bad for Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, who are stuck. It's really just Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, and their teammates. That roster is really bad outside of those two. Take those two away, and they're probably the worst team in the entire league because I think Ohtani's out the door. I think he's going to leave. And if you don't trade him and you lose him for nothing, then you are the worst organization in the entire league, and I don't want to hear it. Nevin, terrible manager. Artie Moreno, terrible owner. Pitching, outside of Ohtani, terrible. Lineup, it's just Trout and Ohtani. That team is horrible, okay? Everyone's saying Oakland's the worst team in that division. It's really Anaheim. Think about it. Trout and Ohtani are literally the only reason people are saying Anaheim is fourth. That's a bad baseball team. Anaheim's bad. They're horribly ran. That team is terrible. The Angels, they're going to be one of the worst teams in the league. I have them going 50 and 112. Angels are bad. In fourth place, Oakland, who is going to be tanking. They are really bad. There's really nothing to show for Oakland. Like I said about Anaheim, it's only Trout and Ohtani. But other than those two, it is a bad baseball team. Like, they're really bad. But Oakland, They'll finish fourth, but they're still bad. They go 54 and 108. There's like nothing really. They did get Christian Pache, but he's not even good. This is like not a good team. Moving on, in third place, it is a playoff team, the Texas Rangers. They needed pitching. They have a good lineup. They need pitching. It is a bad rotation. And then they improved it. Jacob deGrom, Andrew Heaney's all right. What else? They do have some other arms. They do have a decent bullpen. Their lineup is really the bread and butter of that team. I think the Rangers will get in the playoffs. They go 90 and 72, the number 6 seed. In second place, the number 5 seed, the Seattle Mariners, with a record of 99 and 63. Mariners, really good baseball team. Okay. Julio Rodriguez, one of the brightest young stars in the major leagues. They have a really good lineup. Their pitching rotation is decent. Their bullpen is all right. Scott Servais is a fantastic manager. The Mariners finally broke the curse last season. They're looking to build on it. And honestly, I think the Mariners, they lost Jesse Winker. Yeah, they lost some pieces, but they'll still be in the playoffs. I have the Mariners going at 99-63 and the number 1 seed in the AL, the defending World Series champion, Houston Astros, with a record of 108 and 54. The Astros, yeah, they lost Verlander, but they still have Framber Valdez, who I'm calling it. He's a cheater. He is on sticky stuff. The Astros use sticky, but oh well. You have Jose Abreu, and I hate White Sox. I hate you forever now that you let him walk to the Astros. You let him walk. Now I hope you guys suck. The Astros, Yordan Alvarez is a monster. Alex Bregman is all right. Jeremy Pena is coming off a great rookie season, won the World Series MVP. Outfield, you have Brantley, Kyle Tucker, Tampa native. And you have center field. I don't know who their center fielder is, because I don't really know. I'm blanking on it. Their bullpen is good, with Ryan Presley, one of the best closers in the league. Their starting rotation is decent with Framber Valdez, Lance McCullers, some other guys. Astros, best team in the American League, and I have them going 108 and 54. I will do a separate stream for postseason and awards. Other than that, I will be heading on out. See you all next time. Peace.